She wasn't assigned this. She took it on herself, and now she realizes, be careful what you ask for. So she's been watching all these cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies, and now you hate them.
I'm going to admit something controversial, and maybe it's because I'm on my Scrooge tirade this year, but I don't like cheesy Christmas movies. I'll turn them on in the background for like an atmosphere vibe. Like if I'm baking cookies, if I'm home with the family, I'll turn on the Hallmark channel.
Is it possible, with another analogy, that you would like one beer, but a whole six-pack when you drink it in the same day is too much?
So she had a Hallmark hangover.
Yeah, Hallmark hangover maybe, because you've assigned yourself to watch all of these movies in one sitting this year, and maybe that's what's turned you around.
You OD'd.
You OD'd.
OD'd? Well, I don't know. A Natty Light once is gross. A Natty Light 7 times is...
Oh, God, Natty Light. That just took me back.
I know. That's kind of how I feel like Hallmark Christmas movies and Lifetime Christmas movies are the Natty Light of movies.
Yeah.
It's just...
That's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes it's like good for a nostalgic vibe, but then other times I'm like, And there were some ones that I enjoyed. The funniest one I thought was Meet Me Next Christmas with Christina Milian. That was a good one. Our Little Secret with Lindsay Lohan. But even despite the enjoyment that you feel, there is something kind of lingering in the back of my head. And what I will say came from this experiment of watching the most hyped up Christmas movies this year is perhaps overanalyzing something that doesn't need to be overanalyzed, because frankly, Christmas movies from those cheesy channels, it's just not that serious. But I got myself thinking as I watched the 6th and 7th and 8th one in a row that I'm a little offended by some of these movies. I'm going to ring my snowflake bell and say that I'm offended.
It is winter, so you're good.
And if Hallmark knew you were offended about any one of their movies, they would be clutching their pearls.
They would be freaking out. They're like, how dare you be offended on our sweet G-rated films that bring joy to the whole family? And to that Hallmark, I say, I'm feeling a little condescended to. Because these cheesy Christmas movies are geared towards, I would say, maybe women in their 30s, single women in their 20s and 30s specifically. And so I am the target audience. So Hallmark, if you want some room for improvement, you should be listening to me right here, right now, because I'm getting paid to overthink this right now.
Do you think, are they being patronizing?
It feels a little patronizing to me, and I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
So the premise of all of these films is a single woman, typically. There are some exceptions. Our Little Secret one with Lindsay Lohan, she's not single, she has a boyfriend. Christmas in the Spotlight is about Taylor Swift. Nobody is pitying Taylor Swift. But the premise of a lot of these films is the underlying message is, wow, woman sad, woman go home, woman experience Christmas joy with a man, and now everything better.
That's every single one of them.
Yeah, right?
Every single one of them. And I think I just started picking up on like those small hints and notes and facets of the story as I watched it more and more. And there were some that were worse than others. To me, I think The Married Gentleman was the most pitiful. Like, this woman couldn't even dance, and we were supposed to believe she's a rockette. And I'm like, yeah, we really do need to pity this woman out of all of them. Whereas that one followed directly after the Taylor Swift one. And then I was kind of like, this is really bad Taylor Swift impersonation. So I'm pitying the actress more so than the actual character. But I was kind of feeling some type of way where I was like, can we not have a storyline where it's not so pitiful, where it makes these single sad women look like they need a man in a flannel to help them?
Okay.
It's a trope. It's a trope.
Isn't this hitting you in your pain point right now?
No. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, these things are designed for fantasy, but over the course of the last couple of months, you certainly have detailed for us your struggle with dating. And then now here we are on the heels of you going back to your family. And now your brother has found himself a younger girlfriend. They're going to be moving in together. They're talking about marriage and kids and stuff like that. And you just lived this whole thing at the holidays. And you came in here just a couple of days ago saying how painful that whole thing was. So is it possible you're watching these at just the wrong time?
Thank you for reminding me of my pain. I don't know, maybe it's some secret envy where I'm looking at everyone, I'm like, well, they were pitiful, but then it worked out for them because they ran into Chad Michael Murray on a street corner. I don't know. I think I was just kind of getting to the point where I was like, can we switch it up a little bit? Like, we need like a romantasy Hallmark Christmas movie. I need someone to ride a dragon next year.
I saw something on social media where somebody said they fell asleep during one of the Hallmark holiday movies, right?
Yes.
And they woke up it took them 30 minutes to realize that it had rolled over into a different movie.
To be fair, they reuse a lot of those actors. I mean, Lacey Chabert is getting a lot of airtime, so I don't blame them. So, Hallmark, if you're listening, this snowflake would like you to find anything other than the sad woman trope for next year.
So you need a Hallmark Christmas movie with the exact same screenplay, except it ends horribly at the end to make yourself feel better.
Yes.
Okay.
Or maybe they can save the man from loneliness and not the woman from loneliness.
Ooh, or maybe no one has to be lonely and sad and nobody's parent has to be in a sticky situation. Like, let's just make it all happy and empowered.
Or if you're looking for tragic endings in these movies, maybe you can just send your life story from the last year to Hallmark.
Damn.
And there's got to be a story in there, man.
Listen, I need to start profiting off my trauma. So
Climbing on that elephant in the room, ain't you?
The Bert Show.